as you might expect, in the northern direction, all the way through different sites and stops along the way. This is going to be an overall tour. This is 1.5 hours of relaxing and super slow experience. But for the first sort of 20 or 30 minutes, we're going to be walking really slowly along this path. The Northern Trail is something that's been built primarily by Ethan Wubbs, one of our long-time players. You may recognise him from the theatre productions, and he's been working on a bit of a lore-based addition to this wonderful server. And so I've in front of me got my phone, and I'm going to be commentating over this very methodical following of the trail. Lots of sights and whatnot along it to be examined and to cast an eye over. And like I said, whilst I do that, on our Discord we have a lore channel where people can put in all the different stories and canon that was previously headcanon, I suppose, for their bases and builds, and is now a place where they can put it into history on the server. So sit back and relax with me while I have a little read through of these as we come upon the inn on the Northern Trail. Got the raven banners outside. It's a beautiful tavern that whilst everything is quite comfortably visible from the path, you are quite likely to find something new every time. On to the next part. The Great Pumpkin Beast. There has been a disaster at Ethan Wobbs's magic factory, and a magical spill has gotten into one of the pumpkins at Patchy Pumpkin Farm. It is said that the magic brought the pumpkin to life, and it's very dangerous. Be careful if passing by. And we have a poster of a very scary, intimidating, imposing Great Pumpkin Beast. As we walk through Ethan Wobbs's main base, I suppose. To our right is the Moonlight Theatre, I believe, but that is something we'll only be briefly passing by. We will eventually come upon the pumpkin patch, and we will see the magical spill that it discusses, the magical factory that is obviously ultimately responsible Ravenman is said to be 3 blocks tall with glowing red eyes. Please keep an eye out for this large raven-like creature. And there is again another very imposing, harrowing looking poster. As part of the trail there are a couple of builds which, on our right, I'm unsure whether that is something off the trail or is another person's build. I can't remember. On the left up here, it is definitely not sort of directly associated with the trail, at least from memory. But let's keep going with the lore. There's a little bit more to get through. Whispering spirits. While walking the northern trails, you may stumble upon the spirits of lost travellers. They may try to lead you off the trail by whispering things to you. Do not leave the trail and follow the spirits. Their goal is to get you lost so you can join them forever. The spirits present no dangers for spectators. Just remember not to follow them. That sends a chill down my spine. I've not seen any sort of, again, little monuments or builds that may be directly associated with the whispering spirits, but I can only imagine they are hidden, lurking under the foliage alongside the trails. We have a few more to get through. I think this one is the circus. Public notice. While on their latest tour in the Northern Trails, the Ethan Wobb Circus has disappeared without a trace, leaving behind their carts, tent, and the animals have gotten free. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of any of the carnival members, please reach out to a Northern Ranger, and please remember to stay on the path while walking the trails. Dear, that is something that I certainly haven't kept to for the past 10 minutes. Now, on to quite a scary part of the trail. Recently, there have been photos that have been released of a possible UFO sighting. I think I can confirm the UFO. Not too subtle, this one. The possible UFO sighting along the Northern Trail. Please be advised the Northern Rangers have not discovered any remnants of a UFO. Please be advised, however, it is recommended to stay out of the fields along the trails for your own personal safety. Oh dear. And as you can see, I've not heeded that warning. I'm certainly traipsing and frolicking through the fields as if there's nothing there. However, whichever Northern Rangers, but whichever Northern Ranger has confirmed that there are no remnants of a UFO in the area, I would implore them to, come to this area and maybe just look up. Can confirm that there is indeed a UFO. But that is the end of at least the Northern Trail part of the path. Now initially, actually, through my ignorance, I followed I suppose it's the western section of the Northern Trails, if that's their kind of overall name, I suppose. So this is actually recorded beforehand, but I thought I would include it once, even though I realised and eventually went back and recorded the actual Northern Trails. I still thought that this section was, pretty relaxing. So I've left it in, and we're going to, like I said, follow up through the western side of things, which this part was recorded maybe 5 days ago or so. Maybe a little bit less than that, 4 or 5 days ago. And there may be significant differences now, and to be honest, that accounts even for the northern section. If you are watching this, I seriously do suggest that you just go and walk the northern trails yourself. It's such a relaxing and fun experience, and there's something just so capturing about lore for me. I don't know if everyone has this. Some people I know are not really interested and just want to kind of play the game, I suppose, but for me, knowing that there is a story and a thought process, but yeah, a deep story behind a build or an area is just so capturing. But like I said, there's still a little bit more to read, which once I've read it I may realise I've forgotten something along the northern section, but we'll go through this just as we're walking the western side of the trails. Although there are a few inns throughout the northern trails, for those weary travellers, it is advised that you stay aware of where you with the continued expansion of the player shopping district, there are 3 player shopping district warps, which is quite astounding really. The entire shopping district has really expanded and people have built absolutely beautiful things. Just quickly showing you my spruce logging shop. Slightly unfairly, it's the only one that I've picked out specifically so far. We've walked past quite a few already: Esmeries, Oblivions, Teenage Pensioners, Chris, Jake, Emmy Bear, Beach, and now Anna's little witchy hut. But I would say that, at least from what I have experienced, the majority of current trade is occurring between the player shopping district number 2 and number 1. I know that Beach has that very, very, very successful shop between 1 and 2, and Harvey of course has his Emporium just shortly after shopping district 1 in a very prime spot. But as new people have joined and have gone to the point where they are able to open a shop, it's become really the sort of central point of trade, I would say. The highest concentration of shops, and I would say probably the easiest area to maybe understand. I don't know if that is kind of a simplistic way of putting it, but the area where you can pick out the most shops from sort of one position, standing and looking around, is definitely between 2 and 3. That's Cool Cats. Precarious, I think that is meant to say. Shop. A little sale of diamonds and other bits and pieces there. I'm very interested at some point to have my fortune told by Madame Ethan's fortune telling. It's a lovely little place. Gosh, this store is turning into just an Ethan and Wob store really. But he does have a particularly whimsical way of building and designing things. And this is probably my favourite shop. Chiller's totally legal and safe kind of cabin thing. I don't know if it had an actual name that I missed there. But he sells mostly excavational type things. Actually, probably a poor way of putting it, because excavation on the server is a specific skill that is mostly just dirt and sand, but it's mined goods, should I say. Oh, we've got someone there. I actually didn't see who that was. But a shop being built, and from memory that shop is now completed a couple of days later after I recorded this. Another shop being built, which again from memory may actually be fully built now, but it is functional of course. But as we make our way down the route between 2 and 3, shopping district warps 2 and 3, we see this kind of expanse of shops. We have Ghosty Boy's airship, which I absolutely love the design of. It's really, really cool. And honestly, I would encourage wasn't even a third warp at this point, but I did create that now. But hash browns are good. Level 9485. At the time of recording, is now over 10,000. He was the first player, really by any measure and distance, to hit level 10,000. And as a result, that just prompted me to add the MCMMO Master rank, which I've given to him. That's going to be, as hopefully we can add for other things soon, something that everyone can have based on their level. If you are the top rank in MCMMO, then you can have that rank, but I think quite likely hash browns are good, has that locked down for some time with his close to 5,000 level advantage over anyone. A quick look around Viper's very modern looking store. We are about to go into Beetling or Beetle ASMR's shop. This is Totoro's log. I did see this a little while ago before recording, and I thought it was really sweet. I saw it in the shop promotion section of the Discord. But it was only at the time of the recording itself that I noticed that this is Totoro sleeping inside of his log, and I thought, now that has got to be the most whimsical, beautiful, just super cute build on the server. There's something just so enchanting about that. I absolutely love it. And then we have Cat's General Store, the design of which reflects the design of Cat City, which I believe he is running to become the either the mayor of his city or of the server in general. I've seen several posters which are quite inspiring for the development of an actual president of the server in general, which could be good fun. We took a brief stop in Cruelty 999's store there, but that, other than this other little edition here, Fortnite. Might be wrong. Some kind of game like that. It's one of those games that I've never played, but I jump on to a YouTube video and stick it on and fall asleep. It was very relaxing regardless. I suppose sometimes it's not really relevant what the game is, it's just meant to be relaxing, which is the case for me most of the time. But I really do appreciate this build style. It makes me quite jealous because I've had a desire to make a sort of Venetian style build for a long time, but never quite committed to the idea when playing a beautiful, beautiful cathedral standing on the far side of Cat City. Like I said, it probably has been 5 or 6 days since I last recorded on the server. Well, that's not quite true, but specifically recorded for a tour. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if there were more builds in Cat City now. And I think some people have asked to join. Can't confirm the situation there. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm a news reporter. But this is a completely separate area by a separate builder. It's Pixel Vortex. I am astounded by Pixel Vortex's builds, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. They are absolutely gorgeous. Just out of sight on render distance from Cat City. Although you actually might be able to see Cat City if you up your render distance to the maximum on ASMRcraft. This boat is just truly, truly beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful build. I do wonder practically how Pixel Vortex would imagine he could get that boat. Oh no, hang on, actually the waterway does extend quite far. I thought it was just a little lake, but that's not quite the case. It does seem like there's space for it to be able to row out into the open water from here, so I take it back. But these builds are so detailed, and I love that they have good interiors as well. I think, and definitely no shade, because I'm the worst for it, but I would say the outside is the most important visual, but then to really flesh out your builds and your area, especially if you have multiple builds, building the interiors is a small addition that really, really helps to bring everything together, and can be admitted quite a lot. Love the bathing as well. Really, really beautiful area. Could almost be considered finished, to be honest. One that can't be considered finished is Harvey's. This is going to be insane. I know that Harvey was on holiday for a little while, enjoying real life, but I think his preparations for a mega base, which is where I am now, as you can probably imagine, it was quite similar to how it is now. He may have added the chains, I'm not too sure, but you can see a general plan, or at least you could probably foresee his ideas for this area when this is finished. This is going to look absolutely crazy. Probably the largest scale single build on the server. well over a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago. But he's got a really nice sort of traditional wood cabin build style, which he's plonked down in a spruce biome surrounding this beautiful lake. Tried to capture as best I can, but it's absolutely beautiful, and I recommend people go out there to try and check it out. We then jump over to Squiddyland, which is a group base which has made a return from the OG seasons. I think the last time Squiddyland was properly formed would have been season 2, maybe, could even be season 1. Don't think Squiddyland was around in season 3 or 4, but its sort of prime was season 1, and then also before ASMRcraft was a thing. It used to be called the ASMRMedic server. Now, my kind of graphic overlay, I think, is bugging out a little bit because of maybe some of the other plugins we've got on the server, which means it's really hard for me to see who's claimed what. So I did look at the base members before I came, and I know that there's a place just because as you can see, I asked in chat. This is built and owned by ASMR Deals. Gonna turn the shaders off just briefly while we load various things in. Just gets a little bit laggy otherwise. It's a really cool castle. 4 huge turrets and then an inner area with little builds being put up. Obviously it's not finished, so looking forward to seeing how that turns out. But we're still kind of in the fledgling stages of Squiddyland. This is pre-crafted, one of our admins. It's his lighthouse. This is so typical of his builds. I've obviously seen pre-crafted building on the server since its inception, season 1 of ASMR, of the ASMRMedic server, probably almost 4 years ago now. He builds like this. It's sort of like it's being carved out of something, really. And I don't know if that's like intentional, that specific description. What I mean to say is that it has this sort of natural look to it, and it looks almost like a meteorite. Like there's so much detail in the walling, and he has such a sort of solid grasp of colour palettes and texturing that he's able to make these really sort of odd, and I mean that in the best possible way, these very strange shapes and strange kind of colourings, which from the outside look absolutely amazing. They look absolutely phenomenal. But when I see like certain typical Minecraft builds, I look at it and I think, okay, I probably couldn't build that, but I can see how I could, learn simple techniques or ideas that would allow me to build that independently. When I look at pre-crafted ones, I genuinely have no idea where I would begin trying to create, not just replicate it, but trying to create something independently that you would compare them and be like, oh yeah, that's of the same style. So he's probably got the most distinctive style of anyone that builds on the server, for me at least. That might be a sign of bias because I've seen his builds for years, but yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. And I know that he's starting something else called Sunken City, so looking forward to seeing how that develops as well, because I have seen some of the initial foundations for a build there, although pretty sure I've not included it here. Didn't want to which I did not pick up. On during the walked tour. I have actually seen another couple of additions to the Northern Trails, so I'm going to quickly read those to you. On August the 19th, whilst wandering the Northern Trails, player Ethan Wubbs has seemingly disappeared. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of this player, please reach out to the forest rangers. That's rather harrowing, and if you go onto the Discord into the lore section, you will see a poster, a missing persons poster. Ethan Wubbs was last seen entering the forests in the Northern Trails. If you have any information regarding this person, please reach out to the Northern Trails Forest Rangers. I'm not sure if I said it in the initial part of this video, but yes, Teenage Pensioner and it's Jake, I'm fairly certain, are Northern Trails Park Rangers. There's an addition by It's Jake. Only yesterday this was added, so this is hot off the press. Thanks, dear travellers, thanks to the work of the forest rangers, the area of the Northern Cavern that was previously closed due to a cave-in is now open for exploration. Reminder to stay vigilant and report any unusual findings or activities to park rangers. Park Ranger Jake, as we search for the missing park ranger Ethan. And there is a little photo of the caverns. I did not, when I was recording this, actually even see an entrance to the I didn't even see an entrance to the park, the caverns, so I don't know if maybe they didn't exist or if they're slightly off the path, but from memory, or not even from memory, I just know that all of the features of the Northern Trails should be quite visible from the Northern Trail itself. That's purely going on what they said, not sort of like my suggestion. If there is anything that is slightly off the trail, I think that could be quite cool to explore. But I think Ethan did say that everything should be visible from the trail, so either it wasn't there or I didn't have my eyes open when I was walking the Northern Trails. Otherwise, at any rate, as I eventually choose the phraseology I want to use, at any rate, I would suggest walking the trail yourself. It was something I wanted to do for a little while, the walk of the Northern Trail at the start of the video. But I sort of put it off for at least maybe 4 or 5 days because I knew that it would be quite a long, slow recording. And especially when I wouldn't be recording the voiceover at the same time, I thought purely doing that to record it could be a little bit tedious for me. Because you're not really experiencing it properly when you're recording. But I was really surprised that even though it was in the context of me recording something, I still found it extraordinarily relaxing, and I had already read all of the lore, and I found myself astounded by search game, I was looking around and seeing all of the things that I had already read in the lore, which was super cool. But I think here and there now we're going to be seeing builds that either have been seen before, or if I realise that it's a new build, then I will of course make sure to comment on it specifically. But I wanted to take a bit of time during the tour to talk about news around the ASMRcraft world, which is a new, if you call it an initiative or new idea, which has sprung up by our member B52. And I have to admit, I absolutely love it. I love it to bits. B52 is a content creator who's made, I think, 3 videos now. And interestingly, he's focused. I say he, I don't know if he's a guy. I think it's a he. I think I've seen pronoun somewhere. But either way, I've seen that he's made 3 episodes of a series called ASMRcraft Mysteries. The 3rd episode is technically the final one, as he recently said he's going to start uploading 1 block soon. But I've absolutely loved his series. I've not watched episode 3, and I've only caught maybe the first half of episode 2, so I'm really looking forward to getting some time to watch a bit more. But it's a type of content I've not seen on ASMRcraft until now, one that explores lore really deeply. And I have to say, I love it. I knew I'd love it because I love lore, and it's always been a dream of mine, truly been a dream of mine, to have this kind of thing as an addition on ASMRcraft. And finally, we've got someone who's as interested in me, clearly, in making lore-based videos. The addition of lore in general and stories by it's Jake, Ethan Wubbs, obviously TP helping out with their projects as well, has really lent itself to this type of content, I think. So I would go check out his content if you're interested in that sort of thing. And I think if you like these tours, I think that almost by virtue of that you would enjoy that as well. But he is our resident, B52 is our resident news reporter, or journalist I suppose more appropriately. He started something. So B52 has started news around the ASMRcraft world. All of this information can be found for you to read and look at yourself on the Discord in the lore section. News around the ASMRcraft world, I'll include specific writings from B52, and I'll just read them out for you. But eventually we're going to get to the weekly newspapers that he's been writing, which cover all, as you can imagine, the news and developments, events and happenings on ASMRcraft of, I guess, note or public knowledge to some degree, as well as some investigative reporting. But here it's Jake's base now, which I think we've explored a couple of times, so I'll keep reading. But his first entry into this lore section was some stuffs I'm gonna make into a sort of newspaper clippings, including theory and stuff like that. It's an in-game newspaper which is written in a book, so you can get a hard copy if you're able to. My plan was to actually grab a hard copy myself, which I still probably will do for like an episodic type thing. hope it is beetle. I think it's beetle. Absolutely love where this is going. It is a new area. Oh no, I don't think it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who this is now. I feel bad. I'm not sure if that was beetle. Beetle started. There's a bit of similarity there because beetle they have set up this sort of, they flatten out a huge area of land, which is got a few builds on it already, and it's looking absolutely fantastic. This is Baked Beans, or Baked Gaming, an ASMR artist who joined maybe a couple of weeks ago now. They've got an absolutely fantastic style of building these lovely sort of Hobbit Hole-esque additions and into the wall builds at this huge area, which is sort of semi-underground. Looks really cool. A lush cave type build, which I love. But let's read a few excerpts from the first and second editions of the of news around the ASMRcraft world. I'm just reading, and I think that the pages of the first edition now edited into the second edition. So I'm not sure if that's how it works as an episodic thing. I'm not entirely sure. Let's just read news around the ASMRcraft world. Synopsis, events, the Northern Trail, and much more. The second edition, Midnight Column, news around the ASMRcraft world, written by B52. Curiosity killed the B52. It's a quote here, yes, we all serve our purpose within the church. So it looks like he's gotten some inside information from Raven. How can one trail hold so many lies? First-hand accounts of the trail from Atoll, which is news around the ASMRcraft world. Your local news source. August the 12th, so just over a week ago, from this recording at least. There was a pumpkin patch along the trail, and a pipe can be seen out of a hill/mountain. It's leaking some kind of mysterious substance that isn't identified, but its effects show that it somehow brings the plants to life. From what we can gather, we have no clue if the now alive plants are hostile or not. A circus has come to town. Another thing within the trail is some kind of travelling circus. It is indeed empty at the moment, but the overall structure is a sight to behold. We're just taking a look now in the video over the nature reserve, which is sort of in progress on the server, which is coming on really nicely. It's a super cool initiative. Breaking the ice. There was a play in the Moonlight Theatre not too long ago. The play was Titanic. You had to be there. It was delightful. Next section, potential Raven Man conspiracy. A giant-sized raven was seen around the forest that surrounds the Northern Trail. A comment from the Northern Trail Board of Rangers. The Northern Rangers have no comment on whether there is or is not a Raven Man in the woods. There have been searches, but they have all come up inconclusive as of this time. Fear not, the trails are a safe space. Are very safe. Let me reread that. Fear not, the trails are a very safe place to be, and there are so many wonderful sights to see on your journey. Rangers released a statement as of the 14th of August. So again, a night at the museum. Word has just come out that an area where it cannot be built is marked, so the Northern Park boards hope for construction to begin tonight. I'm butchering this. Let me read it word for word rather than trying to, I don't know, whatever. Word just came out that the area where it cannot be built is marked, so the Northern Parks Board hopes for construction to begin tonight and hopefully be able to build for an opening either tonight or tomorrow. I think this is the edition of the museum. One block survival. Now this was the official announcement and details of the server event, which was why I just thought it was such a cool thing. Oh, we're also at speeches areas, by the way. This is a beautiful area. It really reminds you of June, actually. This is, if you have seen Spitch's builds, he has such a specific talent of building these really natural walls. They look absolutely incredible. We're going to go over to his main base, or at least his first base in a moment as well, and you can see what I mean. A server event announcement, one block survival. People will be able to go to a new world with nothing but one grass block. After breaking that block, it will regenerate with a new block. And as you mine, your level increases, and you unlock even more different blocks to mine, as well as new mobs that have a chance to spawn. Demiads. The event shall last 1 week, after which the people with the highest levels will be rewarded. Their rewards are to be determined, but they will probably be something like this. First place, 250k in-game currency, Discord Nitro and MCMMO vouchers, and then explains the prizes for 2nd, 3rd and 4th to 10th place. News around the ASMRcraft world, page 4. The Church of the Raven, IB52, will be asking questions of the individuals that are a part of this church here. These are some of the questions answered by one of the members, the head of architecture. Ravenside, Squiddyland. There is a weather section that is so funny. My god, the weather. Ravenside is 65 Fahrenheit in the morning, 52 Fahrenheit in the night. Squiddyland, 75 in the morning and 58 in the night. So Squiddyland is a bit warmer. That is so cool. I love that. The Ravens, they want to help grow the economy so that it isn't just specific rich people. It seems the Church of the Raven just wants to be able to be a nice source of community and opportunities. Who is the head of this said Raven Church? Asks B52 in the interview. There is no head of the church. It's run by a 6-person council. It seems there are individual heads of different areas of things. Yes, we all serve our purpose within the church. After this interview with the head of architecture, I was able to reach out to get a comment from some of the other council members. I think that is the end of the first edition. There's a second edition as well. Or should I say volume 2 of the Midnight Column. Mysteries of the Goblin Cave. It seems that there is a cave besides the bridge along the Northern Trail. I've reached out to the Northern Trail board for a comment. Fear not, everything is under control and blocked off. We know that it's been cleared out now. As I went through the cave, there was a secret door that led into a room with a campfire that has some kind of red substance surrounding it. Caution. As I went through the cave, there's a secret door that led to a room with a campfire that has some sort of red substance surrounding it. So that was a main headline at the start of Volume 2 of the Midnight column. City skylines. Oh, and there's actually a picture of the caverns in the newspaper as well. City skylines. Cat City is now established. It isn't open for the public just yet, but it is existent. As the name suggests, its mayor is a cat. Foo Fighters? A robbery in the shopping district. A community member, which I can now reveal to you, was Cat. Cool Cat. A community member has been quoted saying that someone has stolen dirt and deep slate from their shops. The perpetrator is still at large and hasn't been apprehended. Yeah, that is something that we were aware of, but yeah, no further information as late. We're in the Raven Church now. I think we've already reviewed this before, so you can continue to sit back and listen to news around the ASMRcraft world. As I was walking down the trail, I noticed that past a point there was some kind of UFO in the distance. We cannot say what they are here for, rather it be for peace or for destruction. There's a photo of the UFO over the wheat field. The UFO is sizable. We have reached out for a comment. I love the idea that B-52 is underneath the UFO is standing in the middle of a field with a microphone stretched out above his head. Oh no, obviously, what am I on about? Of course, he's reaching out to the park rangers for comment, not the bloody UFO. It's too early. It's about 6 a.m. You have to give me the benefit of the doubt. We haven't a clue as to what or why a UFO is even doing within the Northern Trail. That comment was taken about 5 days ago. A freak went off its leash. There seems to be a travelling circus cart that was left abandoned along the trailhead. We do not know what could have been the situation, but we surmise something has escaped from its carrier. Northern Trail Board has not confirmed nor denied the existence of the secret door. A lion has escaped from the cage while on the trail, but we are giving our best efforts towards capturing and returning the lion to its owners. Please be careful in the area of the carrier, as we believe the lion remains in the area. Are the Foo Fighters really a rumour? This is something that I don't know anything about. The tour had the media crew take pictures of the craft. As of this time, we still don't know if the UFO has anything inside, an entity, an enemy. We can assure. So I don't know if that's referring to something that I don't really know anything about, like a Foo Fighters song, or maybe I'm just being stupid, or I don't know anything about this at all, but I don't really know the relation between Foo Fighters and the UFO. So if someone can enlighten me in the comments, that would be very helpful. We can assure you that the Goblin Cave is a safe site and has been cautiously closed. And we've cautiously closed areas that are prone to collapsing. Northern Trail Board quoted about the Goblin Cave. One block event. So a wide event has been announced. It shall be taking place on Sunday, which obviously now started. All of the information is in the second edition of the newspaper. Success. I just wanted to come in as the author and say thank you to everyone. Oh, this is lovely. Without your help, this news journalism would not have been possible. Without each and every one of the people we reach out to over on Natal. now the opinion piece of what I think about the Church of the Raven. We've had a nice talk with them and we're able to get an exclusive tour of their church. The video is clearly already out. They seem to have a strong sense of community and bonding. Even if the members or the heads are different from one another, it doesn't stop them from having fun and building more and more opportunities for the community, not only in Ravenside, but abroad. I actually do not know if I checked out Ravenside. In the tour, I don't think I did. They have a specific warp, so I would strongly suggest going and checking it out yourself. But that is the end of Natal. No, it isn't. There's a bit more. Hang on. Monstrous house. A little further along the trail is some kind of mimic. That is a house. I would imagine a scenario where a night walker would be wandering around the northern trails and unknowingly gets inside one of these strange entities. They are never to be seen again. Wandering around the northern trail and unknowingly gets inside one of these strange entities, never to be seen again. Now, the weather has also been announced there. Ravenside, Squiddyland, and now the addition of Cat City, which is quite significantly hotter than the other two. I absolutely love the weather section. That is so awesome. I love it so much. Nightmare before pumpkins. After a second trip to the trail, we of course pass the areas that we are familiar with. A pumpkin patch that is reported by Natar to have a leakage occurring of some mysterious substance. We know its effects, but not how it got here. There appears to now be a creature coming out of the pipe. Oh my god, I've not seen that. Oh my god, that's so true. That's cool. The next volume will include a statement from the Northern Trail Board and all the Northern Trail Rangers. We at Natar want to say that officially our news agency will be stationed in Cat City. Oh my god, that's amazing. I love the linking of these things. Oh, this is Beetle's place. Sorry, there we go, if we do get to it eventually. This is Beetle ASMR's place. Sorry for mixing that up earlier. Absolutely love Beetle's style. Quite reminiscent of just a slightly lower to the ground Cat City, really. Go check out Beetle ASMR as well. Yes, we will have air conditioning. We are a neutral information news agency, and it was a tough choice as to where we were to officially station. We chose Cat City in the desert. Its beautiful, thriving architecture and landmass makes it a great environment. The other considerations were Ravenside or Squiddyland, but we look forward to future deals as we plan to launch corner stores in other shopping areas. That is so cool. If you want a corner store in your shop, contact at AB52. I don't know who that is. Is that him? Is that his name? AB52. Oh yes. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. AB52. Wow, I'm dumb. That is all. If you want the latest news, look no further than NATAW. And then there's a cryptogram. Whoa. I'm not going to be able to figure that out. If I had a bit more time, I'd love to look at that. Museum and construction delayed. There's a delay in the museum. It was going to be an info centre and museum combo, but it's been decided that the museum needs a much more grand building, so there's some delays in construction, but we hope to open as soon as possible. I believe the museum is actually open now. Did I see anything on Northern Trails? No, I don't think it is. Maybe it's not on the Northern Trail. But yeah, guys, I think actually we're going to leave it here. This has been super fun going through all of this with you. Vote in the presidential election, obviously, on the server, I mean. There's a lot going on. I don't think we're actually going to have an official presidential race, so it's all just for fun for now. But it is hilarious. I love absolutely everything that's going on in the server at the moment. It's